Hello.
We're here.
Welcome. This is Loretta. She's a wonderful mommy, a wife. You work in engineering. You're a business owner. You also helped your mom start her business.
A long list.
There's more to it, I know.
Keep going.
Welcome. Thank you for coming to Rightfully So. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I think this is an amazing project,
Thank
and I think you're gonna go places because you're a very hardworking woman. Since I met you, I knew that. Yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I think I want to inspire people. That's why I decided to come here, and we're gonna talk about this.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm so happy to have you. So let's bring it down back. So you are my Brazilian sister,
Yes, born and raised
born and raised, and then you came here 13 years ago.
13 years ago. I'm from São Paulo, big city. It's funny, right? People have an idea of Brazil like very different. You probably go through that too. People are like, "Oh, you're from Brazil," and I'm like,
Everyone's
"Yeah,
from the favela.
yeah," or the jungle. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from São Paulo. It's like New York City. There's like big headquarters, and people drive Lamborghinis. Like it's a normal place, I promise you." And then I was raised in Rio, where the cries. You guys all know the cries. That's a famous one, and the favelas is a lot of them.
Yes,
Yeah,
in the music videos.
yeah.
I don't know why they think that's
Right, that's the cool part. It's like all you see,
not
it's
the
like
beach,
yeah,
not the wonderful city.
right. All you see is like naked women in the favelas.
And
But
Brazil's huge. There's just everything. You literally
yes,
could just, if you could walk through it, you would just pass by so many
so many
different
cultures,
faces, like
everything,
all tones, all everything.
everything, and that's another mistake that people make too. And like I'm like Latina, you can tell, but when you look. But I have friends that are like blonde, blue eyes,
Yeah.
and they come here and they're like, "How come you're Brazilian?" And my friends are like, "What do you mean by that?"
How
Like,
come?
do you know Giselle Bündchen? Like, she was married to Tom Brady. I mean, she's Brazilian. Like, she's
Yeah.
blonde. So people have like wrong ideas about things.
Now it's Anita. Everyone,
Yeah,
if you don't look at Anita,
Anita.
are you Brazilian?
Right, seriously.
So that's awesome. And where did you meet your husband?
Here. So, fun fact. I was married before. So I divorced. I was married to a Brazilian. I came here married and I divorced, but my husband is my second marriage. I'm glad I found you. I found him online, but he's American. So it's a multicultural like household, I would say.
Household.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you.
And you've been with him how long now?
So it'll be 5 years this year.
I don't know.
We got married 2 years ago, but we've been together for 5.
That's
So we
awesome.
met online. Who would think? Me meeting someone online. It's bizarre. So yeah, but we met online.
And you work in supply chain,
Yes.
and then you and your husband decided to create Kedi Pets.
Yes.
Let's talk about that, which is I love it. I think it's such an awesome project.
Thank you.
I have a kitty cat that my parents had to adopt because my daughter's very allergic. I know. So tell us about
Okay.
Kedi.
I will. So I'm a mechanical engineer by degree. I work at J&J and then CanView. J&J split, right? So if you guys don't know, J&J like became CanView. So all the consumer products that we know, like Band-Aid, Listerine, Neutrogena, they all became like CanView, this new company. And I still work there. I work in supply chain. I work in engineering very little in my career. I didn't do hardcore engineering. My mom sometimes says it's a waste. I'm like, thanks. She's like, yeah, you should work in engineering. But I did a little bit, but I'm a people person and it made sense to go supply chain. But then a few years ago, the company, changed because now it's a different company and there's a lot of like things happening, layoffs and things like that. And then 2 years ago, my grandfather passed away.
Sorry.
And thank you. He was like my father. And he never worked for anybody else. So he was an entrepreneur from day one and he raised an entire family. And when he died, it was an awakening. Like, you know what? You got to go for it. If you're listening to this, go for it.
Aw.
And I was like, that's time to go for it. And I was like, I'm young. If I make the mistakes, I still can recover and I still can make money. And there's other ways to recoup. And I decided to open a business. And my husband was like, "You're crazy." And we're like, "Okay, I don't care. We're gonna do
But
this."
he joined you.
He did. He did.
No,
He
now
did.
we're crazy.
No, he's a very supportive. I would not be able to do it without him. We're co-founders. He works with me a lot. But I still work at CanView. Like I still do full time, and then I do the business in my odd hours mostly, and my days off.
Fun.
Yeah, very.
And right before we started, she took a
I took
call.
a call.
She's like, sorry. I'm like,
Sorry, I gotta take a customer.
do your
Money
thing.
coming in.
That's sweet. And your grandpa was an entrepreneur in Brazil.
correct? He's an architect, was an architect,
Awesome.
and he had the chance to work for the government in Brazil, and he was like, "No, I want my freedom." And he was like, he had all his customers, he managed his own business, and I learned from that. I was like, "You know what? You gotta go for it." So,
Yeah, and I think seeing that it's hard to not go down that route. I feel like my mom as well. My mom never had a job that was for somebody else. She's also entrepreneur, and I think since that's all I knew, it feels weird to.
to not try something.
And then her reasoning for it, I identified with it. She's like, on my own terms, on my own time." And I tried work, and I have a degree in business, and I'm like, "Let me try the office thing." And
I did work for
and
it.
I actually worked for a company. It was a packaging company, and
Mhm.
we did a lot of work with J&J.
Oh, wow.
So I was familiar with the products, because sometimes people don't know
Don't
what
know.
products belong to what company. It's like,
Right.
"That's Bayer, that's J&J."
Yes. That's fun. That's
Yeah,
nice. That's
yeah.
good.
So I worked in, quality.
Mhm. Which
And,
is good.
yeah, yeah,
There's a lot of engineers in quality.
but it wasn't fulfilling at all, and I was like, "I am working so hard for garbage," because it's literally a packaging company.
Yeah.
But that was my last job, besides,
I don't
uh
wanna talk about how we met.
let's not say the place. Besides a restaurant, we served together briefly.
We
Were you there long after I left?
a little bit. I think I was there for a year. I left in November 2024.
Okay, and I oh, so wow.
Same time.
Oh, no, because I left May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a little bit later.
Yeah, so we had a little.
We met in a restaurant business.
Mhm.
So that's another
That's a
thing.
different thing too, that's another thing.
That's another thing because when we met, I was working Can View, the business, and the restaurant.
Jesus.
So people would turn to me. They got like some background, right?
And she's a mom.
That's the fun part of the background, right? It is a fine dining place, right? So I would go to the tables and talk to people, and you talk to tables, and they ask about your life. It's weird. People do ask
Hmm.
about your life when you're serving, like, right? And they're like, yeah. So do you go to school? Do you study? And I'm like, yeah, I'm an engineer. I graduated and I have a job. And they look at you like, what are you doing here,
Yeah.
right? Isn't it weird?
And they all think we're 20.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I'm like, I do
it's
have a life.
it's
Yeah.
so funny.
So people would ask me, even like the servers, right? They were like, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "Well, you need to fund the business, right? I need money."
Money, yeah, yeah, I mean, I was supplementing with it too for a bit, and it worked until it
It
just
didn't
didn't,
work. Yeah,
yeah, and then I ran for the hills.
yeah. That's good. That's the way to be.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah, you do the things when you need to for with a purpose, and
That's true. I would definitely go back if I had to. I always tell my husband if we need money,
it's fun,
and
and
it's a
it
good
keeps you
industry.
fit
That's
because you're
true.
walking
You
around
walk
for, like,
around.
hours.
And it's good money. It's like you make money, you can, save and stuff. So it's a good opportunity. If anybody watching here, struggling financially, has a job but needs more money, figure out a serving job on
A
the
serving
weekends.
job for sure.
It's gonna help you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does help.
And now there's like no tax on tips, I
I
think.
was gonna say, now you have that there's a limit to the amount, but
But still,
hey, it has
yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
It
It's
has
it's
to be
better than
helpful.
when we were there because
Yeah.
we paid full tax on that. So think about it.
So, about back to Kedi itself, what is Kedi?
What is caddying? So that's a lot right now. I'll tell you that. So it is a pet supply business. So we actually manufacture and supply cones. So like the cone of shame, that thing that your pet uses when they have surgery and they discharge from the doctor. They have this cone. That's what we do. It's like
And they do funny things when they're on the
right,
cone,
right.
try to.
It's not a sexy industry, right? You would think like somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm an
But it's
entrepreneur.
cute
It
because
is,
there's
and it has a mission, right?
and it's actually cute, the
Wow,
design, I see
thank you.
that. I'm like a
Yeah,
detail freak, so I
that's
notice,
good.
like, every little
See, in
detail.
detail. So I designed a few of the things. We got a patent approved, so I'm an official scientist, which is cool
Oh,
for the vast. And then we sell on Amazon. We sell three lines. So we have the premium line, which is like the discharge line that you take it home. That's more comfortable. So that's the line that we actually want people to use in the house, right? You don't want the pets to be wearing like the uncomfortable cone. So that's more comfortable. It's safe. So that's a big thing for us. It's designed to be safe. No loose strings. Don't use loose strings on our pets. They can get
I
strangled.
saw that about there's a
It's
lot of
so dangerous,
accidents with
so
that.
dangerous. Yeah. Anything like if you have a pet that you're buying clothes, if you're buying anything that has loose strings, they can get strangled. So they can get hooked somewhere.
Yeah.
So safety is big. And then our baseline is our basic cone for the veterinaries, and that's the one I was in the call before.
Wow.
Yeah, to we work low cost clinics. We work with shelters to use their like to sell to them the basic cone, which is used mostly in like surgical space, and the vests. So it's 3 products, and we're expanding.
And to my understanding, a big reason why you stand out besides having a great product is that you also focus on the affordability side of it.
1000%. So we are proud to say we're the most affordable cone supplier in the United States, and we are specialized. So our factory, our supply only is cones. So different than our all the competitors, right? They have several supplies.
Multiple things.
Right. We're specialized in one thing, and we want to get more specialized, have different and different cones, but it's something that's first. The second is best price, right? Our prices, like, you cannot even compare.
Unbeatable.
Yeah, you cannot even compare. For a low cost clinic, it's like thousands and thousands of dollars to save every year because we're able to price it so much lower. And the intention is to help. We have a rebate program. So if you are a shelter and you recommend us to a vet, you get 5% of every order.
Sweet.
So think about
Good manners.
your shelter, right? You need donations. Well, we got you. Recommend us to a vet. We'll be able to close that vet once we have that account and the vet is ordering our product. You get 5% every order for the life of the account.
Oh, wow.
So that's like 50, 100, $150 every month for the shelter. So that's a way to give back to the community.
Wow, especially since a lot of your clients are charitable companies that are
Yes.
probably nonprofit. So any way that could help, you're pretty much donating as well and helping the
1000%.
cause that they're helping. Also, a big thing with that is not only are you very competitive in price and affordable, you're also not cutting out quality because of that. So you're getting quality at a
A
premium.
better rate.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So our product, our plastic has more layers. So our plastic's thicker, better quality. And we also have a possibility to have the clinic's logo on it. So we just started a customized like line. So if you are a big institution like a veterinary office who has several locations, VG, VCA, Blue Peril, you get Oradell, right? All these big hospitals, like big names, ASPCA, and you want your logo on the cones, we make that for the same price that you pay now,
oh,
which is crazy. Think about you're paying to put somebody else's logo on it, and I
yeah.
can make it with your logo for the same price. I
Wow,
know.
that's awesome.
Marketing, right?
And yeah, and it's you both have the marketing with that. You
Exactly.
market that I could do this for you at the same price, and then for them, they could use that in their space. And
Yeah, and think about it, like you leave with the cone, right? The dog is wearing the cone, and you walk in the park, and it has the logo on it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
people are actually seeing it, right? The dog is walking around, so they will see it.
Yeah, I
So
hope
yeah,
they get to walk and they feel better
right.
from whatever it was they needed. But that's awesome. So you have quality, you have a great price, and you also have the marketing and everything else you would want in the
In
product.
one
And you're
product.
so specialized because it is cone world at Kedi.
Well, yeah, we're the con people, and the reason why we call like Kedi Pet Solutions is because we bring solutions, right? So
Yeah,
we save money. The conversation with the actual customer is, let's see how I'm going to help you save money.
yeah.
So I'm going to cut costs for you. I'm going to cut shipping. I'm going to see ways if you can resell my line, and then you can profit on it. So we work in different ways and solutions for the
And
customer.
for the ultimate solution at the end is also for the pet because they have the protection with
Exactly.
the cone that they will need regardless because
Exactly.
that's why they were at the vet for. So that's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. I think it's great. I'm so happy for you guys and that you
Yeah.
were able to come up with such a business. How what was the most difficult part of the process, especially when it comes to creating a product?
So you spend a lot of money in the creation process, right? So let's start with that. It's expensive. R&D is expensive. So imagine how many prototypes we went through
Hmm,
until we get the one that works.
I
So
can
think about fabric, plastic, suppliers, right? We had to interview like hundreds and hundreds of factories to understand which one is good. And some people are shady. Some people are weird. Some people are like, right. I'm like, yeah, they're not responding to me for 3 days. Like, this is not good. We need to have good
yeah.
communication, right? So there's all these things that you have to do, and it's costly. Every time you need to do a sample, it's costly. So it was hard to develop the product. It was hard to design the product, but it was worth it. But it's definitely like the design piece was costly. I would say like the toughest part to have the
The
business is
funds.
it's money. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
funds. It's
I
a
think
lot.
about that a lot. Ideas, I have a book of them. But the funding of these ideas, I know that's a whole other book.
It is expensive, but it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's good debt, I say.
Yeah. And when you like set your mind to it and like you have the drive because of the purpose, it's worth it at the end. And then now you're at the place where it's out there, it's being used, it's being purchased, you're getting calls at 7 o'clock at night. So that means that yeah, it's you made it to the place where any business owner wants to get to.
Thank you. Well, not
And
yet.
grow not like there's room to grow. There's always room to
1000%.
grow
Sky's the
and you
limit.
will grow. Sky's the limit.
Thank you.
But at least you're launched and you're moving,
Yes,
which is
yes.
and so you said if a person needed one for their home, it would be they could get it on Amazon.
Amazon, yeah. So retail price, like we don't ship one cone to you, right? We are more wholesale in our website, but you can get on Amazon. And in our website, you can actually go and find the Amazon link and then just
Yeah.
buy it.
I will put all that
Thank
for
you.
people in the notes and make sure to tag it because you never know when you need it. And
True.
most people that I know have pets
Yeah,
and
true. And it's safety again, guys. Like
yeah.
we really really focus on the safety aspect. So if you're looking for something that's affordable, our Amazon cone is the best price in Amazon too. So we're famous for being the best price everywhere. So if you find like you see that like 12.99, you don't find it in any other brand.
That seems great.
It's
I
a
haven't
steal.
had to purchase a cone, but that
It's a
seems like a
steal.
really fair price
Very
for
fair
sure.
price. Yeah.
So they could also watch your content because there's things that they might find out that like the loose string
Yeah.
thing, I
That's
never even thought of. There's things you don't think about until it's presented in front of you
yeah.
and then you have a reason to think about it. And a lot of times for your pets or for anything, it could save your pet, it could save you another trip to
To the
to
vet.
the vet. So it's good to know as much as you can when it comes to products. And like you said, there's so many shady, not only companies but also suppliers and fact and that they just do
Everything.
things, they cut
They
corners and
just want the cash.
they just want the
It's
cash.
sad. If you go to Amazon and you look at like the competitors, you will see their listings, you see everything, and then you scroll all the way to the bottom and you see the country and you see like they're not American suppliers. So they are from all over the world. They're just trying to get a bite of the American dollar,
So
right?
you have an American supplier.
I have a Chinese supplier, but
Okay.
my quality is American,
American.
and part of the process is actually made here. So all the customization is made in the US. But like where I'm talking about, like the competitors are
Yeah.
Chinese,
Everything from
everything.
beginning to end. Like, there's Chinese letters on the packaging when you
They don't even live here. Like it's like these people are in different countries. So these people are in different countries actually, selling on Amazon, which is totally fine.
Yeah,
But when you look, like there's not even they don't care. There's no research, right?
yeah,
There's nobody like we went to vets and we asked them, is does this work for you? Like what is working, what's not working? There's research involved, right? There's a process creation of a product.
yeah.
We're just not putting something like that out there to sell and make money. We're actually trying to change an industry that's been corrupt and it's been expensive, and we're trying to help it make it better. So there's a mission behind it, and I think most of my competitors don't have that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Not only is the medical industry tough when it comes to humans, also apparently it seems that in the
It's
pet
hard.
world, which I do see a lot of shadiness with that.
It's hard.
And it's sad because a lot of it you notice it more with the pets. Things just seem to hit them harder.
It's true.
So whenever something goes wrong, it's very obvious with the pets, I feel.
It's true. That is true.
That's unfortunate.
But one thing you touched on, I want to bring it up because I think it might be helpful for your audience, is like how do you get customers, right? You're a small business. So I'm a little fish in a big shark tank.
Yeah.
We're talking about my competitors are multi-million dollar companies.
Yeah.
Like think about medical supplies, right? Think about J&J is a medical supply company, not that, but like imagine me going against like J&J,
Yeah.
right? Like big companies. So it's the door to door.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about selling anything, you got to get in your car and visit people and knock on their doors and explain why your product's better. So there's no way around it,
No.
right? I'm going to California in a month. I'm being Florida next week, and I'm going to visit people and be like, "Hey, I'm here." I
And not only do you have to explain why your product is better, you have to prove it.
1000%. So I bring all the samples with me, and then we have these conversations. But it's all about like you have as a new business owner to get out of the bed and the chair and go sell your product.
Like
Like,
the Kim Kardashian,
right.
get up and work.
Yeah, it's like door to door sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to do that. You want to hire someone, they're not going to have the same energy as you.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to know the product as you. So, that's maybe fine in the future. But right now, I'm knocking at the
Yeah.
door.
Once you get to that point, that's a different story. It sells itself. But when you're getting started and you're trying and you're working on growing, then there's not same thing even in my business,
Oh, yeah. Real estate,
everyone knows
100%.
you have to
Have to go for it.
put your face out there everywhere and
Yes.
literally knock on doors and call everyone
Yeah.
and
It's hustle.
yeah. Yeah. And then not only do you do that, then you have to prove to them why they're choosing you and time again showing them that they made the right choice because things get out,
That is true.
especially now.
That is
There's
true.
reviews, there's social media, there's
1000%.
101 websites.
Yes.
So it's
It's important.
important.
And social media, one other thing that we're different, right? You don't see
Home.
tell me a cone supplier that's active on social media, and I'll be like, "No."
That's us.
It is true, like, I'm like my husband and I have this conversation a lot. He's like, "But you have to be, like, talking to people, and you have to be, like, on camera," and I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I wanna be relatable, right? I wanna donate to a shelter, but I want them to know who we are and why we're here. So, there's more to the business, and I think the social media presence is essential, it's important, so
Yeah.
our competitors are missing up on that.
Don't tell them.
Tell them.
It's a secret. No, that's definitely true, and you have to do all the ways. And from what I feel, you're doing it obviously for the business, for having a business, for being an entrepreneur, but finding a solution, there's a purpose behind that, and being able to offer that solution. And then you said donating to these charities. It's like this is your pathway to being able to give more to
100%.
a charity that in a cause that you really care about. And
Mhm.
sometimes when that's the purpose, it shows why things start to work out because that drive is like a very honest, raw, unselfless, a
Thank
selfless
you.
drive. And it should be selfish too because you should want to live a comfortable life and have your business and hope that everything works well and you have, your husband, your child, and your life that you want the
Mhm.
best for it. But also knowing that the excitement of like the more we grow, the more we're able to help all these vets and all these you know, companies and also all these pets, and then also we could give back.
1000%. It's our mission, right? I'm very big on this. There's no way to get before you give. And that's in life, right? When you meet someone and you're starting a relationship, you gotta give, right?
Yeah,
I gave a lot of cones away, right? I knock on the door and I'm like, "Here's a box of samples. Use it. Let me know if it works." And you have to have the money, and that's why I said funds are important, right? You need to fund your samples and you need to fund your trips to visit your customers, but you have to have the mission. We're never gonna abandon the shelter community, right? No matter how big we get, that's our purpose. Like we
yeah.
want to help. These people are volunteering in any weather to go and help pets for free. And that's beautiful, right? It's one of the most beautiful things. And we want to be able to help more. But as a company, like we're small, it's very hard to donate to everyone. We already donate so much. Like every month we have like recurrent donations that we do, but we want to do more. And we know that with time, that's gonna happen.
And I think it's people like you that are needed, even like you said in the name. It's Kedi Pet Solutions. I think solutions is where the focus needs to be, not only for the pets and the cones that we're speaking of right now, but as it pertains to everything. Everything we're constantly hearing of every single problem under the sun of an individual, of a group, of a country, of a state, of a city, of a whatever. And there's so many issues, and we know that. And there's always been a ton of issues. But what we don't hear a lot is the solution.
Right.
And even myself, it's like, I don't even want to speak on this because I don't have the most minimal idea of
To
the
solve
solution,
this.
and I don't see anyone giving me a solution that I could jump in and help on, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's tough. So I think and I always say, even my kids, I'm just like, figure it out. This isn't working. This figure it out.
Right. And that's the right mentality.
Be resilient.
Yes.
That's important. Figure it out. Find a solution. Where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's a problem, there's a solution. So just
100%.
how are we gonna find that? Is the focus, I think.
It is, and, we learned that in engineering school, right? So, some people ask me like, "Oh my god, but I went to engineering school. You have a business, you work in supply chain, you don't use engineering." And I say that engineering was the number one thing that prepared me to the real world.
Mhm.
Because when you are in engineering school, the first thing they teach you is figure out.
Oh my god, I can't imagine.
So you are in this like heat transfer class and you're preparing for the final and you do this exam and you cannot finish the question. And the teacher is like grade you 10 because it's like, okay, you went further than everybody else, but you went further, but no solution, but you're trying. So it's like engineering is almost like you graded
It's
on
one step,
effort.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
So
like
there's barely any solution?
some things don't, many things don't. But they teach
But
you
the further you get,
the
the closer everyone is to the
to the solution. And then the other thing that they teach you is like something that didn't work in the past doesn't mean it's not going to work now because the times are different, the
Mm,
people are different. And that's so true. And I use that in my job in Canview. Somebody comes and say, "Oh, we tested this 10 years ago." And I'm like, "Well, 10 years ago was different than now."
yeah.
And in engineering, we test it again
Yeah.
and we're going to do it. So that's how life should be, right? When you
Yeah.
say like, I tried this before, it didn't work. I posted a video, it didn't get viral. Like
Yeah.
nobody liked my stuff. Well, keep
Trial and
doing it.
error.
Just keep doing it.
Keep
Just keep
doing
doing it.
it. Keep doing it, and even if you hit a wall, make a hole in it, keep
Just
going.
climb the
Climb
mountain.
through
Just
past
climb
the
the
mountain,
mountain.
get to the other side, keep on. I just that's so true. And even with when you said you went to engineer school, there's so much you learn from the things that even me, I'm just like, oh, I got a degree, I'm not using it. And sometimes I'm like, should I be using it? Blah blah blah. But I'm like, I am one way or another. There's so much
You
that
always are.
I gained and learned from the experience, the schooling, whatever it was, that is a part of me and I carry with me in everything that I do. So it was very important for you. And I
Yeah.
think maybe without that engineering background, this wouldn't have been
Mm-mm.
a path you would have taken
Probably
or
not.
thought to.
Probably not. Especially the engineering side, creating the cone itself, right?
Yeah.
Creating the vast, like designing it. There was engineering behind it. So probably not. And I love the fact that I was a mechanical engineer. I graduated. It was my dream. I'm
And you
proud.
graduated here?
Yeah, here. So I have a degree from Brazil in English, which
Yes.
is weird, right? I know. I'm like
That's
human
why you
and
speak
in
it.
science, right? It's like, yeah, but like it's crazy because people usually like they don't do humanities and science, and I did humanities and then science.
Yeah.
So I did English, Brazil. So like I could teach a Brazilian speaker English. Like I was not an English teacher. I was specialized in teaching Brazilians English,
Oh,
and I specialize in pronunciation. So I know I have an accent. You're probably like, how do you teach someone pronunciation? You have an accent. Well, believe me,
you
people have way worse accents,
can.
right? And they got better. So I work on that. And then when I came to the US, I studied engineering here at NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Not an easy task.
No, it's fun though. It's fun.
None, it was fun.
Think about an MBA now, maybe. Let's say.
Oh, listen, if anyone could do it, clearly it's this gal right here.
It is an expensive
Because
degree, so we are seeing if it's worth it. I'm kind of investing my money in inventory right now, so
yeah, school is a tough one for me. I always say, you know, if you're choosing a career that you must have an education for, you want to be a doctor or lawyer, and even lawyer, there's ways around it. But those kind of careers, I'm like engineering, of course, definitely things like that. You do the schooling, but everything else, I'm just like in those 4 years, if you could figure out things that you could do to make you more advanced in that topic, in that career without the degree, it's much more valuable than sitting through a class and listening to a professor who is teaching rather than well, some of them do work
yeah,
in the field as well, but they're not out there doing the thing.
it's
Like you're
rare.
teaching me entrepreneurship, but you don't even have a business.
That's true.
So it's just like I don't know. I'm just like, is there more value in just getting out there following someone around who's already doing it
Coaching,
big,
yeah.
whatever you could do, you probably will get more value in getting coffee for the big business entrepreneur
Mhm.
than you do being in,
The classroom.
in that classroom for
I
3 hours.
agree. There's 2 aspects to that that I see. I do agree that education, depending on your field, can be acquired through courses, mentorship, coaching, and life, right? Business is one of them. Many people that are in business don't have a business degree. But I feel there's one thing to the degree I would say it's important, and it's the branding aspect. Loretta, is 10 years from now, people are gonna be like this? Probably not. I think the industry is
Yeah,
changing a lot
it's
with
changing a
AI.
lot, and I hear that a lot with business owners now. They're saying, "Listen, I don't even look at your resume where you graduated from. I don't care."
Yes. So, and with AI, right, some careers will just
Fade away.
disappear. So I feel like this is going to change. But in the current age, if nothing works, you have a degree and you can get a job, right?
Yeah,
Because in corporate, for example, in Canview and in J&J when I worked there, you need to have at least a bachelor's to get in. And then that is something that if you have, it may open doors. So it could be like plan B for you. And I think some of the degrees are like branding, right? It's funny with engineering and being a woman, people automatically think you're smart. And I'm like, that's not usually the case. I'm really not bright. I'm not an engineer. Like if I sat with an engineer right now, I'll be like, I'll fail every test. So, but it's branding. People are like, "Oh, wow. And I'm like, sure. But it's not true, right? It's somebody comes to you and say, I have an MBA. You're like, okay.
okay.
Like it's a little bit of the branding aspect that you carry with the degree. But I agree with you. Many career, your life experience, your coaching, who you're following, what courses are you taking, it's way more valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that a lot, and I think, yeah, anything you could learn in the classroom, it's a textbook, it's a syllabus.
That's true.
Go out there and follow that
Yes.
syllabus for yourself alone in your room, and instead of, a 3-hour class once a week, you could do it in your time, you
And
know?
read. People
And
read
read is big. I know you read a lot, and I have been slacking lately, but I'm getting back on my reading
10
because
pages. You need 10 pages a day. That's 12 books a year.
wow.
Guys, how long does it take for you?
75 hard. Have you ever tried?
No, I never tried.
But one of the tests on 75 hard is 10 pages a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I got this from this Light Edge, which was a book I read last year, and it's powerful because if you do 10 pages is nothing.
That's
You
okay.
can literally be in the bathroom doing number two and reading 10 pages. Like that's if you have no excuse.
I go too fast.
Well, then well,
To
maybe
get
we gotta
that.
find something else. But like literally, like you have no excuse to not read 10 pages,
Yeah.
right? Like that's you're finding an excuse right now. Like you look at me and I'm like, I can. No, you can. 10
When
pages.
I realized I scrolled through
Social media.
Instagram for X amount of time, I'm just like, I could have read 3 times that
Yes,
amount
true.
of pages.
And it's like if you put a big goal, sometimes it's harder. So if you're like, oh, I gotta read, I gotta sit down and read, then it becomes hard. But if you do like 10 pages and you gotta stop at 10 pages, just stop. But I'm in the middle of a chapter, stop at 10 pages.
Mm.
And then you do it every day. You're gonna be like, after a month, I just read a book and it felt like nothing.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because 10 pages, there's a study behind this. You read 10 pages, your brain is going to associate that information from 10 pages way more than if you read like 30, 40,
Yeah.
because it's like short, you
Yeah.
know? So it's good.
And
Try
I
that.
like to read books that I'm not big on, stories like
Novels.
fiction. Like I like more like something that's teaching me,
Yeah.
and but those could be very heavy, especially if you're reading more than one of those. You could overwhelm yourself. So like I think the 10 pages
Yes.
helps you soak in
Yes.
those 10 pages. If it's a story, like if I'm reading Harry Potter, like yeah, like I kind of know the story already, so I could like go through it if I must. But something that you're getting some kind of value or learning something from, or trying to put that into your life and what you do, like take from it and actually use it, then yeah, 10 pages sounds ideal.
Try that and let me know if that works for you.
One tip for someone looking to start a business, whether it is a tangible product or anything in general, what do you think you if you go back to yourself when you first started, what is one thing you would tell yourself for sure to not forget?
The budget. So that's my husband's part. He's like, didn't you say we're gonna start and just X? I'm like, yeah. He's like, we're at 5X. So I think money is important. So it's like when you go under construction, you're in real estate, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right? Like you're in
uh,
construction, you estimate,
it's never that number.
right? I'm gonna spend $10,000, and then like it's like 25. So I think like underestimate the money, but like save more because you know you're gonna go over. So like like I think about that. It's important first. Second thing, I would say it's not giving up. Um, but how do I know already if this idea is good or bad that I should pursue and keep doing it? You will have feedback, right? What makes us keep going? We launched on Amazon. We got all these good reviews. People, I don't know, we didn't base the reviews, right? Amazon is like very legit on the reviews. People are just telling the product's good. You're showing the product to people, they're saying it's good. So I'm like, okay, this has edge. And then you just keep going. So I would think like resilience first, organization.
Mm.
You gotta be organized. I wish I at the beginning I was more organized, like taxes. Our first year doing taxes, I forgot after I filed taxes, I remember so many things that I spent
Yes.
money on. Like no joke. Like we filed like March. By May, I was like,
This
it
is
was
the
at least
list I'm missing.
it was at least like $20,000
Yeah.
I spent that I did not put on. I was like, oh God, it's organization.
Yeah. That I knew that would happen. And there's accounts now. There's I use Found for the business account where you put when you use for your business expenses and you categorize it, and at the end of the year it does that for you and it transfer into your tax when you do it.
Um,
I have to do everything myself, so I'm like, well, how could I do it myself in a way that I'm not really doing it myself? It kind of does it on its own. I just have to go and Found. Yeah, I'll link it. Yeah, I'll link it. But it's for business is really great. Yeah, yeah. I think that's I would never forget that I bought that coffee, whatever that would count as a business expense because yeah, I know myself.
Account,
Everything counts and you should do that because then, you know,
it helps.
taxes are
It's a big hit.
yeah.
So I did that. One thing I would say is outsource. So just mention Found. I'll mention AI. I'm huge on AI. We have a meeting now in August coming up talking to a company about AI and how we're going to implement AI. So that DM, emailing, social media can all be managed by
Even for cones. And now it's like you have to go along with it.
AI. And it's
There's
important.
you have to. Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get behind. Things
Yeah.
are moving fast. So AI, and then the other thing is VA, so virtual assistant.
Mhm.
Um,
I've
you know,
heard those are great.
right, in the United States, you're here spending all this money, like, it's very hard, like, you pay someone, like, $20 an hour, right, to do your social media, it's expensive. You hire a VA, they're gonna be out of, Singapore, India, Vietnam, and then you pay them the fair share for what the services they charge, and they work for you for, like, 10, 20 hours a week, and they manage parts of the business. In my case, I don't do the VAs out of India and China, I do from Brazil, so I have 2 people in Brazil. We have someone that does the social media for us, and someone that does the all the
Mhm.
finances. And because of the currency exchange, we pay them fairly well for Brazil,
Yeah.
but for the US, it's fairly cheap.
Yeah.
So it's a way to benefit also.
Everyone
Yeah,
and you're helping someone and you're being helped.
it's yeah,
It does
being
help.
helped.
Yeah.
You can't do everything.
I think maybe in the beginning, obviously, especially since you said budgeting and funding is a big one. In the beginning, you have to
To do
kind of be
everything.
every role, even roles you've never played before. And I think there is also a benefit to that. I feel like,
You learn to teach.
yeah,
You have to teach someone how to
yeah,
you gotta know,
yes.
right?
And you have to know that they're doing it how you would, or how are you going to guide them on how you want it to be done? If you never did it and you don't even know how you like it to be done, and then mistakes happen, and then you kind of learn. So you fall on your face first, you figure it out first, and then it makes it easier and more seamless for when you do hire that assistant or when you do hire all these other roles, especially when a company is expanding. But there is so much value in like doing it all yourself first and getting your hands dirty, then bringing everything in to help you out.
I learn how to edit video. I learn like
Is there any funding that you outsource? Like, is there any maybe a website or a company or a bank or a program that was
people
helpful?
money.
Yeah, that you used that you could tell someone to.
Not really. So like there's in every bank is gonna require 2 years of your business, right? So if you go to Chase, Bank of America, all that, they were like, you need 2 years. I'm like, well, after 2 years.
Usually, if you're gonna buy a house, you also have to have work. Just 2 years in that field or company.
Right. So you gotta prove yourself. But for a business, like imagine 2 years later, I'm like, well, I don't need your funding anymore. Thanks, right? So I would tell you one thing that's helpful. You gotta manage it with care and you gotta be smart and be careful. But it helps, which is the credit cards with zero interest.
Yes.
So if you get a higher amount of credit cards, like, gotta have decent credit score, right? Take care of your stuff first. And then you get this 18-month, 12-month.
Yes. Oh,
You
I've
get
lived by those for
right,
periods of my
right. You get like 18 months, 12 months, maybe $8,000, $10,000. Then you can, work for it. But you gotta work for it.
Yeah.
You gotta actually go and work because you know that debt is coming and you have to pay it. I'll say that's helpful, helped us. But you know, go out and work, like find a second job, get your someone in your family to find a second job to
Yeah.
work.
Do the restaurant or whatever it is for a couple months, a year, whatever.
So like for us, it's like it's mostly inventory research. It's expensive, so you gotta find ways to make money, and the credit cards does to help.
Credit could really help you if you're taking care of it and overall respecting it. Some people just really turn a blind eye to their credit and it gets really bad. And I think there's a lot of, self control, and also it's very fulfilling to use credit properly and know that even the number, it might fluctuate sometimes because there's a purpose around it. But if you know that you'll bring it right back up, then it's great, and then it helps you out. You're getting, 10K, 15K, whatever, with 0 interest, which is impossible if get it from any, even a person that loans out, or a bank. So if you know that you're gonna work your little butt off and you're gonna pay that back, it could be worth it to help you get up out there, especially it's so hard. No one really just gives you money for nothing.
Don't borrow money from your 401k. And I'll be like, wow, I did it, and I don't regret.
Yeah.
And I'm big in finance. I'm huge. Like I do study finance hardcore. I understand finance very well. But you know what? You got to use the levers that you have. And for me, it made more sense to get money to put in my business than to use that for compound interest in 1 year or two.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you measure it out, and if you have an understanding, and you calculate it with everything, you have like, I'm doing that now with my own, debts and things like that, and I like calculate things down to the T, and I've used credit in my favor, and I make those changes when I seem necessary, and even the no interest thing, like, okay, you know what, let me do this balance transfer for now
yeah,
at 0 for 15 months, and
yeah,
yes, yes.
free some cash.
That's one thing that I did really well when I turned, what, 18? I was like, "I'm gonna go get my first credit card," which any kid doing that's probably crazy, but someone in a job or something told me, "Your credit is really important, but you also have to establish it, so don't be afraid to use it, but use it smartly." That's summarizing basically what they said, but it stuck with me, and in 5 minutes we were just having a conversation, but I held that with me forever, and I got my first credit card. It was Victoria's Secret.
Well, it is committee bank.
Because it was pink and it was cute. I'm such a loser for that. But I was just like, and I would use it, and I would pay it monthly, and then I got another one, and I would get 50, 60, 70, $80 of like bonus redeeming money for free, and I'm paying them nothing because I was making sure to zero it out at the end of the month. And I really used it in my favor, and I never let my credit slip drastically
Yeah.
without, a reason or a bump in the road. But besides that, it was very
Right.
nice. Yeah, because I'll see people do things like, I'm like, hey, like, you keep getting this bill. Oh yeah, I haven't paid that in like, in like 6 months. I'll get to it, and I'm
Just
like,
get to it now.
collections is calling you, and you're not like,
Not answering.
man.
One thing, like, to another tip, right? To her point, right? The longer to have credit, the better. Think about, I came here 13 years ago, so I have only 13 years of credit versus my husband who has 30.
Oh
Right, big
wow.
difference. But when we had our son, who is 2.5 now, first thing we did, open a credit card. Because when he's 18, he has 18 years of credit.
Mm,
So you have to do that responsibly.
yeah.
And
No,
really,
there's parents who have screwed their kids up, and
exactly.
their kids become an adult and they realize their credit is ruined and they don't know why, and it's because their mom or dad used their credit.
Right. So you gotta do it right.
I
But if
could
you do it
never.
right, if you do like credit card, Roth IRA, your kids when they
Yes.
babies, they're gonna be
Yeah.
millionaires. But you
Yeah.
gotta be responsible. Like it is not an advice for someone that's figuring out finances. But if you have your finances in order and you have a child, make sure like that's something that could benefit them,
Yeah.
right? In the long run.
Yeah. And I'm gonna use that Trump tax. What is it? The $1,000? hey, anything's
729
better than
accounts, right? The
yeah.
educational fund accounts too. It's big.
The that one is like I think about it all the time, but then I have that thing where I'm just like, what if they don't go to school? And
Well,
I'm not, and I don't want to be that parent that's shoving it. I feel like my parents did that in the most innocent, the most loving way, because that's all they knew. Like, study, study. My dad's Brazilian. He never went to college. So he feels that if he would have, his life would be different. But I'm like, "No, dad, it has more to do with you than with the degree." But you know what? I listened because it wasn't better than me, and I'm just like, "Yeah, do it." And I'm just like, "Why?"
yeah. So that's a good point. So you can definitely then withdraw and then pay taxes on it. So let's say like 729, you pay pretty much same tax as if you do like a normal IRA, not a Roth, IRA, and then you withdraw that before your retirement age, you pay taxes, right? Pay much in taxes. But if they go to school, then it's tax free. So we did it for Luca, but we are gonna stop contributing. So we're gonna just start like let it roll it out.
Okay.
So we mostly don't contribute ourselves. We have people. So birthday, every
Yes,
right?
that's what certain cultures do. They don't want many gifts. Don't give
Yes.
me the little toys or nothing. You put in the fund.
And I put it in the birthday card. There's like the account, everything they fund it, and then
I'm gonna do that.
we just
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah.
And it compounds for years, and that's that.
I've bought like stocks with birthday money for my kids. I'm just like, okay, this amount for this. You could buy yourself a little something, and then,
Investing early.
and now that you have a business, you could also pay your kid if he's in any, ad or yeah, and that one they could use
Yeah.
for anything rather than only for school. I think now you could also do a technical school, which is good because if they want to do like some kind of technical cosmetology, a license kind of thing,
It
which I feel like you should do one of those things.
Yeah.
So I have an esthetician license. It's like
It's
I
cool,
yeah, yeah.
but that's a good tip. Yeah.
And then you mentioned your son, Luca. I always loved that name.
Thank you.
And then it became really popular.
Because I'm like,
So that was my thing. It became so popular and I'm just like now I don't want or once I know too many people that named their kid Luca, I'm like, I can't do it too. They think
sad.
you
I'm
know.
like frustrated right now because
It's okay, but it's cute. It's not that many. There's so many names out there. So Luca, I think we relate in the world of having a kid who needed more attention medically than most.
yeah.
So, how was that journey? You found out later on certain things, and how has it been since? How long have you been in hospitals and doctor's visits?
So Luca was born in 2023 in January. We knew there was something wrong. Like he didn't meet any milestone. What's the pediatrician to be like, oh, he should be doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, well, he's doing nothing. So
Like,
there is something wrong. So we've been to every specialty you can imagine, cardiologist, like
yes,
neurologist, nephrologist, everything. Year later, finally, geneticist, and they tested him for something that's called Sotos syndrome. And I'm gonna put the link here also for the GoFund for that to help the association, not to help like Luca, but to help the Sotos syndrome association because it's a rare disease.
for
And
progress research.
yeah, they need funds for research and everything, and for the conference and all. So I'll put the link here for that. But it's something that it was like shocking. Right? Me and my husband don't have a genetic malfunction or malformation.
Or that specific gene, you don't even have it.
We don't, yeah.
It's snapped in him.
Right. It's called like de novo. So it started with him and it's called and it's an overgrowth syndrome. So it causes like everything to grow faster. He's like a big boy. He's 2.5 and he dresses size 5. So it's crazy. But it changes your world, right? Like you when you're pregnant, you never think that, oh my God, like my child may never speak or like what's the world ahead. We don't know if he's gonna make friends, we don't know how bullying will be, we don't know if he's gonna get married, we don't know anything. So it's like it's awakening. It's like that moment in life that you're like, okay, what really matters, and that put a lot in the business because then me and my husband sat down and said we're gonna get this business off the ground and moving because we want time for Luca.
Yeah,
We want to be able to be part of his education. We want to be able to have tons for the best that we can offer. We want to be able to do things different.
yeah.
So it also motivated us even more because now we have him, right? So that's big for us. And it's also, like, very, like, crazy on the family, right? Now we're like, "Should we have a second child? Should we not?" For me, my husband, like, extremely hard. I had postpartum depression. I didn't even know my son had an issue, like, postpartum depression is, like, right after when you give birth, right? It's, like, super 10 days, 15 days after. He was fine in that process, but he was in the ICU, so that didn't help. So it was a very, like, complicated road the first year. And now a year later, we got the diagnosis. So it's been a year and a half now that we know, and it's been better. We're finding more therapies and more ways to help. But it is challenging, right? As a parent, to how do you navigate such a world with a child that needs help?
Yeah.
So it's hard.
And navigating your own life and knowing that, okay, we want to make sure he's taken care of. We want to make sure he's safe, good, that we could aid in pushing him further as much as we can. But there's just so much, adulting is a lot of responsibilities. And then when you add that, and they say give God gives his challenges to those who he believe I'm botching it, but who those who he believes could handle it. And it's just like, cool, dude, but like I don't wanna be strong. I don't wanna have to handle it, but I'm doing it. And I see that you are too, and you can do it. And he's so lucky that you both are who you are and are able to guide him and guide yourselves through it because it's something so new. And hopefully I pray that there's crazy advances with that rare disorder, and hopefully they find ways to help him. I mean, I know the feeling of like dealing with all that. It's not fun. And also that feeling of why. Like my son, we were talking about it. It was such a random freak thing, and it's just like I see this little baby next to him who's huge and looks pretty healthy, but she had to wean off of freaking heroin or whatever the mom was taking. And it's like a freaking addict birthed this fat, seemingly normal. The only thing she has is an addiction that they have to morphine her down off, and she'll probably be okay in that sense. I'm sure there's other things that she's going to struggle with, unfortunately, but it's like, and then my kid, me, who I consider myself to be healthy, did all the things, and it's just like your little intestine decided to play games. And
No, it's a good point. Like it's fair to ask, Brian, at home and you're going through this and you're asking like why me, why my family. We ask that too. It makes us think a lot about it, and we keep thinking that well, it's because God knows we can handle,
yeah,
but also God knows He's gonna be taking care.
yeah.
So it's a huge growth opportunity, right?
And we need to get somewhere, and I think that plays a role
Yeah,
in our own
yeah,
growth and our own path.
yeah. It humbles you.
Yeah,
Once you have a child with special needs and you are out there in the world looking at other children, you have a different respect. You have a different way of looking at things. Before I was a mother, I would see a child in a wheelchair. Okay, that would hurt me. But now it's different, right? Your empathy is on another,
yeah,
right? You learn how to see the world with way more love,
yeah,
right? Like you feel for every parent, like you're sharing that with the other people that you see on the street. So it's growth, right?
yeah.
It's good for my marriage too. Me and my husband got way closer after all that.
Which is amazing because usually they say when there's a medically
Yes.
needed
Child.
child, it breaks families apart. But I guess it depends on the individuals, and I guess you and your husband
It's good, yeah. For us, it's
did it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it worked for me and his dad as well, because and it's something that we're like no one will ever know what it is. Like only we have experience, and we probably felt things differently, or like when we repeat stories, they might be a little different, even though we were both there at the same time. No one, only we have this experience together of knowing from the beginning to the end of like how it felt, how it is. We see him, it's such a bond
yeah.
that,
It's unique.
yeah, it's unique. And I think even for his sister too, I think she had to learn a lot too with that.
It's a
And
sibling, yeah.
yeah, it definitely, I know it has affected her in some way or another, but I think overall positive. And what you said about the compassion, like she's gonna understand that more.
She's gonna be a way more loving individual.
Yeah, and him too. It's interesting navigating it, and how do you share? How do you what do you say to them? What do you do? It's but you figure it out along the way.
True. It's one of the things we asked, right? And we were in this conference in Philadelphia 2 weeks ago, and there was this panel, and they were all photo adults. So these are adults that have the syndrome.
Oh.
And somebody in this audience asked, "Which age did you figure out that you had something different?" And it was interesting because most of them said around 10, 12, 11 year old. They were like, "Yeah, I knew that. You know, my mom, my dad, I was different." And then my mom and my dad explained to me I had slow syndrome. So I'm like, "Oh my god, have I read?"
Wait, they told them then?
Yeah, like, they didn't understand that before. So
And they also and the information on it. The
yeah,
parents didn't know. Even the doctors barely knew.
yeah, and
Yeah.
for us, it's like it's a rare syndrome too, so it's like they're developmentally delayed, so a child probably 10 may have been intelligent at 6, right?
Mm,
So interesting to think about that because I didn't think that. I thought there's also that step that we're gonna have to have the conversation like, you have a genetic condition, right?
yeah.
So it's definitely challenging, but we embrace it. He's
Yeah.
he's a
Yes. He looks like such a sweet from what I've seen.
he's a mama's boy.
You have to bring him. He has to play with Apollo. Apollo's sweet, and he loves. Oh, that's my son. Yeah, and he loves like anything that's small. Even though he might be bigger than my son, but anyone that's smaller than him, he's like, "Oh my god, the baby!" And he thinks everyone's. I'm like, he's your age. He's just stop it. He's not a baby. You're a baby. But it is interesting his awareness of his own condition and having to explain it. And I'm very weird in this not weird in the sense, but I don't like to make it so much about that. Like you're you. Oh yeah, and then there's that. I don't like to emphasize on it. I don't want him to ever use it as an excuse or as a crutch. I don't want him to be self-conscious about it. I'm just like it is what it is.
Some parents, some things are noticeable, some not.
And then some teachers and stuff, I didn't even think about that part, and they, "Oh, you're special." No, Paul, you're not special. Your intestines screwed up when you were being formed, and it sucks, but we had to deal with it, and, like, now we're figuring out where to go from here. I don't think you're anything less or anything more, it's just,
Yeah,
you know, we'll figure it out, and that's just what you have, and hopefully it comes off and whatever, but it just is what it is. It doesn't take away from you or give to you. It just
true.
and then you get so used to it. It just becomes you don't know anything else.
Yeah, exactly. For me, especially, I have one.
And I have a 10-year-old who didn't have anything like that. So I do know what it is, but oddly enough, it just feels normal.
Yeah,
It just this is just
the day to day.
it's so weird. So other in the outside, people are like, "Oh my god, I wouldn't know what to do. Like, you're like, how would I wouldn't be able to handle it?" I'm like, "Trust me, when it comes to it, and you have no other choice, you'll handle it.
You find
There's no other way. Some run away from it. I'm not gonna say those don't exist, but for the most part, especially mothers, like you said, you stick around.
it's one that
Yeah. Oh man, I feel like we told them a lot.